Hey guys, today we're gonna do a little bit of a different video for you guys. First of all, I'd like to remind you to like, subscribe, and leave comments below and let us know what your ideas are on this topic. What I want to go over with you is habits of a good expediter, and I think everyone should relate to this in one way or another. I know I do, and Cari does as well. Number one, I think everyone should treat their van like it's their own. Even though you know, if you drive for a fleet owner like I do, you should treat your van as it's just like it's yours. You want to take care of it. You want to get it serviced. Don't hot rod it. Don't beat it to death. Don't overload it, because you know that you rely on that van to make your money. And if it starts costing your fleet owner so much money to repair and everything, you're not going to be wanted. You want to report any potential issues, keep it clean, presentable, keep up with the van maintenance, the oil changes, the tires, just everything. You know, we're all adults out here, and we know what a vehicle, what it takes to keep up with the maintenance. So treat it like it's your own. And I know if you all own your own vans, you definitely know what I'm talking about. Okay, number two is use social media wisely. I know on Facebook, I'm on Facebook quite a bit, and I know I'm a member of a lot of the Expedite groups and the transportation groups, and I see a lot of negativity on there. And you know, we all know what it's like out here. It's not peaches and cream, and we all realize that. But you know, people gets on there and it just beats you to death with negativity. That's not good. What you say online, it can and will be used against you and potentially hurt your business. And I'm going to go in a little deeper into details on this, but you know, as a van driver, as an expediter, you are your own business. Don't engage in debates involving other companies, fleet owners, or drivers. Every company out there, I drive for Bolt, and listen, let me tell you, people wears my ass out. You know, Bolt sucks, Bolt does this, Bolt does that. Well, let's face it, you know, every company has its good and its bad, you know. There's no perfect company out there. And use the Facebook groups and stuff like that as a tool to connect with other drivers and try to make a positive contribution to the community. You know, we're all on the same boat out here. And, you know, I need help. I've not been doing this very long at all, and I'm by no means an expert. I catch on to things really fast, but I still got a lot to learn. Number three is you need to view your fleet owner. If you drive for a fleet owner, like I do, you need to view your fleet owner as a business partner, not a boss. You know, I make the decision on when I go and when I stay, or how long I drive, or whatever. You're the boss of your expediting company. You as a van driver, it's just like me and Cari. We are a company. Okay, we don't have we don't have a building anywhere or an office or anything like that, but we are a company. You are no longer doing a job for a paycheck. You decide when you're going to drive, how many days of the week you're going to drive, how long you're going to drive, when you take off, when you're going out of service. So you know that your fleet owner provides you with equipment and the access to the loads, and it's up to you to decide when to take them, if the load's good or bad, or if it's worth taking, or you need to turn it down. Number four is when to pass on a load offer. I know everybody out there has their way of thinking when they get that call on the red line. The way I consider it is two factors. The factors to me is what the load is paying, total to truck, what it's paying, because you already know how much of a percentage you get as a van owner or as a van driver for a fleet owner. You know how much that total to truck is going to pay you. Okay, you've got to consider everything involved in that is the loaded miles and all that into the total of truck. Number two factor is where it's going to land you at. Okay, if you have a positive and a negative on your factors and say that it pays really good, but it's going to land you in a so-so spot of getting out of it, that's still okay, because you've made enough off that load that you can afford a deadhead. Okay, or turn it around if it doesn't pay so-so, but it's going to put you in a really good spot where you know you're going to get a load out of there real fast, that's still okay. But if you put it in as 2 negatives, or it doesn't pay good at all, and it's going to put you in a bad place to get a load out, that's a turn down every time. Or if it's too positive, obviously you want to take the load. But make sure you have a positive factor and a negative factor, or 2 positives, because, and that's the way I do it, is that I call it the 2-factor deal. You know, if you have 2 negatives, you don't want to take that load. But if, say, for instance, if the load's paying $1.50 a mile, and it's going to put you in a spot where you're going to have to deadhead 150 miles to get to another place to get a load out of, that's okay, because you've made enough you can afford a few dollars for gas. Or if it pays, say, 80 cents a mile, which is, you know, horrible, I get it, but it puts you in a good spot to get a load out of, go ahead and take it. And that's the 2-factor deal that I go with when I get the phone call from dispatch. Alright guys, number 5 is paying attention to the load process from start to finish. Okay, number 1, you want to, whenever you get the call and you accept the load, you want to review the trip details. With boat, we use Selectus. I don't know what you guys may have something different on your company, and you get the trip details. That tells you where you're at, the deadhead, where the load you're picking it up at, and where you're dropping it off, and then all the other little fine details in there too. You want to verify the time frame provided. That's the first thing I do. If I look and say, for instance, it tells me that I have to be at Spring Hill, Tennessee, and I'm an hour away from it, and I look and they say I have to be there in 45 minutes, well, automatically I know I can't make it. So I've got to call either dispatch or tracking and get that squared away. Verify your destination address. When you get there to pick the load up, get the BOL, and if Selectus tells you that you've got to take that load to Detroit, Michigan, and it tells you that you're taking it to Toledo, well, there's something wrong there. You need to verify it with the company there, either have them to change it or call tracking and then make sure that's copacetic with them. Pay attention to the weight. With my van, it's a 3/4 ton van or a 2,500. I think that they allow me to haul like 3,500 pounds, and that's plus with all the other stuff in the van. And if I get a load, say weighs 4,500 pounds, I could potentially tear the van up, and that goes back. Treat that van like it's yours. So you need to get that squared away. I know I had a load the other day that weighed, on the BOL, they had it down as kilograms. And I don't know what a kilogram to pound ratio is, but they had it down as kilograms, and the load ended up weighing quite a bit more than what it was supposed to initially. But I went ahead and took it. It was already on my truck, so I went ahead and hauled it. But that's pay attention to the load process. Okay guys, number 6 is getting to know your company's freight lanes and learning how to stay in your area. With boat, we haul mainly auto parts and stuff to do with the automotive industry, and we know our freight lanes. You got to know where they're at. If you get too far to your freight lanes, you're going to wind up deadheading it. It's just going to be horrible. You'll learn. Like I said, I started in January, the last part of January, and my first load was here was going to Laredo, Texas, and I understand Laredo's, it takes a while to get out of, but I waited 8 days down there. I wasn't ready to get out of there, and I realized it's our freight lane, but well, let's put it this way, I haven't been back to Laredo. You've got to stay in your freight lanes. That prevents a lot of deadheading, a lot of wear and tear on your vehicle, a lot of wear and tear on your billfold, paying for the gas and the time, because let's face it, time is money. If you're not on that board, ready to accept the load, you're not making any money. So that's getting to know your company's freight lanes. Okay, number 7 is always be prepared to go. If you're ready to accept the load, you need to be ready to go. Let's put it like this. Whenever I drop a load off, and say for instance we're going to the truck stop to spend the night, take a shower, whatever, before I do anything, I'll pull in, I'll fill up with gas, top my tank off, so that way I'm ready to go. Be aware of your prime time to get a load. Like with boat, between 11 a.m. and say 6 p.m., that's usually when you're going to get your loads. So you don't need to be doing anything during that time that you can't just drop and run. For instance, you don't need to be going to the laundromat where your clothes is locked in a washing machine for 45 minutes. That actually happened to me one time. It was like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and I just dropped the load off, and I wasn't expecting to get a load nowhere. We went to the laundromat. We was in Monroe, Michigan. I remember it very well. We went to the laundromat, put all of our clothes in. It was like on a Thursday or Friday. We put all of our clothes in. Of course, when you put your clothes in a washing machine, they lock. Okay, 45 minutes. Well, I got a call, and it was picking up out of Monroe, right there close to Monroe, going to Steele, Alabama. And, it paid good. I obviously didn't want to turn it down. Well, what I had to do is leave Carrie there at the laundromat, go pick the load up, then go back and pick her up, and then leave for the run. Which it didn't cost me. We was only about 15 miles from the pickup, but always be ready to go. You want to take your showers early in the morning, or like after 7 or 8 o'clock of the night, or just out of your prime time. Be available during your prime times. Don't, if you've got shopping to do or whatever, do it either early in the morning or, like I said, after 6 or 7 o'clock in the afternoon, late afternoon or at night. So that's always be prepared to go and ready for your load whenever the call comes. Okay, guys, that about does it. That's 7 or 8 reasons good habits of a good expediter. I just want to recap with you. Number 1 was treat your van like it's yours, because basically it is. Number 2 is use social media wisely. Go easy on the negativity. Again, we all know it's not peaches and cream out here, but if it was very bad, we all wouldn't be out here doing it, right?
Right. And then say.
And use social media to your advantage. Get to know people and get tips and talk to people and encourage people or give people advice. It really works out. So number 3 is view your fleet owner as a business partner, not a boss, because that is your business, and your van is your business. Number 4 is to know when to pass on a load offer. That's remember the 2-factor deal. You can go with a negative and a positive, or a positive and a positive, but if you got 2 negatives, you better pass on it, because you'll be sorry if you don't. Number 5 is pay attention to the load process from start to finish. That's reviewing your weights, your times, your addresses, everything. Number 6 is get to know your company's freight lanes, learning how to stay in your core areas, in the areas that you can get loads out of. Number 7 is always be prepared to go. Don't get into anything during the prime time. Don't get into anything that you can't drop and run. And I call it getting caught with my pants down, and I've done it a couple of times, and I know it's no good.
Wow.
All right, so that's it, and hopefully you can use some of this to your advantage or get some good tips. And I'd really like for you guys to comment and let me know what your good habits are. And give me some advice, because let's face it, we all need help out here. Especially now, it's pretty rough times. It's tough. If you've stayed out here, but that's about it. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate everyone that subscribes and likes or watches our videos. And that's about it. We're going to pick up a load here in Springfield, Tennessee right here in a few minutes, and go to Kentucky in the morning. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
All right, so Jason has turned his video notes into an airplane.
And before y'all say I'm littering, it's a piece of paper. It's literally going to be mush. I want to wet the front of my airplane. That way it'll be heavier, and it'll hold the nose down, because we're going to have the wind. Maybe we'll have the lift. I'm not a very good paper airplane maker, okay? Okay, let's go here. Here it goes.